Hello, peeps. How are you, ladies and gentlemen? Jan Rognerud here. We are live once again. Made it before lunch today. This is great, isn't it? Hey, thanks for watching. If you're coming in live from Facebook or you're seeing this on YouTube and or in your car or elsewhere on Media and Marketing Podcast. Appreciate you all. Today, we're going to dive into a little bit of a contentious topic, but it's going to be kind of quick. And also, I'm going to make some things, generic here. We're not going to go too deep. There's, as I said, there's some contention around this, but it is for marketing people in specific. And of course, business owners that are interested in learning about marketing in general. I mean, we talk obviously about that on this broadcast all day long, every day that we come live as well. About how to use marketing techniques to pre-frame, to pre-sell, to pre-position your messages out there to a audience that is interested to hear from you, where you provide products and services. And so all of that's good in the marketing sense. Of course, the flip side to that is the sales process, as we've talked about before. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but you might have a great product, great service, great marketing. But for some reason, the sales process is stalling, right? There's hiccups everywhere. That happens a lot. These two together, that's why they call it marketing and sales. I'm not sure why it's always sort of referenced as sales and marketing. It should be marketing and sales. Don't you agree? Well, anyway, let's get off of that soapbox. Let's dig in. Why do I show an image of just, sponges on here? Well, I thought this was appropriate to kind of kick this off. My business is different. Kind of taking that from good old Dan Kennedy, marketing, guru extraordinaire. And, here, let's just kind of dig into it, shall we? So for this picture of a bunch of sponges, we see that they obviously are different shapes, different colors, sizes, etc. But they all perform the same function. They suck up and clean and, in the shower, everywhere, you name it, sponges, right? I was trying to go a little bit weird in the gutter kind of conversation there. So let's just not do that. But you get my drift, right? They have one purpose or multiple purposes, but they don't go beyond that. So there is commonalities everywhere. And that's why I wanted to start this off, because we get this too. And every agency owner or marketer or consultant that's in different markets, whether it's working for plastic surgeons or plumbers or financial planners or attorneys or the florist down the street, all these will typically come to us. Well, the florist doesn't typically come to us, but we work with different marketplaces in both B2C and B2B, lead gen and e-commerce, and they will say, have you worked in industry X? And of course it makes sense to ask this, because you can fast pace or future pace really by showing work that's been done from a market, right? So if you are in the financial world and you've done a lot of work in that area, well, then that's great, because you can showcase, websites and print materials and email marketing funnels and, sales and marketing and website funnels and all of that. And that gives you perhaps a leg up, right? I mean, no doubt, if you're talking to a financial officer at a company or a CFO and they're in the financial world and you have done a lot of work there, that can really, fast pace that conversation, right? So you can be really a good target or a good match for them. Again, not downplaying that fact, but let's say that they were talking to somebody who had done a lot of marketing with events, right? And it doesn't appear that that is related at all. Well, in fact, today, forgot to mention it, got to pitch this in here, selloutmyevent.com. Go there right now and learn how you can build out your webinars, seminars, conferences, workshops, conferences, concerts. Sell Out My Event is a free workshop right there, right now, that you can go to and, take a look at that. So let's use that as an example. So let's say that you're talking to somebody who's in the financial world and you have done a lot of work with events, right? Doesn't seem to be a match in that case. Well, here's where the contention starts a bit, right? So I'm going to elevate this up a bit. So we're talking higher level here. Would you agree to the following statement? That is this: that if you are marketing to an audience, do you have a message that you want to share to that audience? Do you want that audience to be targeted? Do you want that audience to be specific? And do you want this to have a workflow, a process that allows that message to resonate as it resonates with that audience, actually takes them through a customer journey that ultimately brings them to a transaction of sorts? And a transaction initially doesn't have to be a monetary one. That could be a download of a financial paper, some research studies, etc., right? So, and this is what I mean by the customer journey. So there's basically a series of events that happen through that, customer journey, that path, if you will. Well, I think anybody on here today, and welcome, by the way, y'all, would say, yes, that is true. If you have a strong message with a hook that resonates with an audience, then it doesn't matter if you have experience in the event business and you are talking to a potential client that you are onboarding from the financial realm. I think that's where really most of this happens, where the disconnect between the thought that, well, if you are in industry, A, and you are talking about doing marketing and business development for industry B, well, if you don't have industry B experience, then it's not going to relate. The truth is it does. And that's where you need to get very specific, especially for you business development folks. Obviously, there are some extremely talented folks in this area, but sometimes you can get thrown off by this question. If you have experience in that area, can you help? We have a different approach to this. We actually call it out as it is. We're not trying to be sneaky, weird, or play shenanigans with this, but we also call out the fact that coming in fresh into a market can actually give new perspectives and be a competitive advantage, because all the new research that goes into play by also leveraging the prospect's experience can really create a team and a partnership that really stands out. So when folks again say my business is different, yes, we're specific tactics. Again, I'm extrapolating up here, so I'm trying to keep this sort of light. There are going to be specific tactics that really apply well to, say, a financial world and the event world, right? There's no doubt about that. But tactics are tactics. The strategies, the messaging, the targeting, the uniqueness of driving targeted traffic through paid advertising or organic or, direct mail if you're doing that, postcards, right? Same thing. And so this is why I was referencing Dan Kennedy at the top, because he talks a lot about this. And I learned about this probably a decade ago, and I thought it was sort of weird at first, but then I got it. And this is what we also try to help customers and clients and patients. We also work a lot in the health and medical field to understand that there is differences as you drill down into the tactics of it. But at the end of the day, as the expression goes, this is all about resonating with a targeted audience, with messages and positioning of a brand, with a forward-thinking intent on that, right? So you basically have a customer funnel, a sales funnel, marketing funnel, whatever you prefer to call that you can drive them through, that creates engagement. And that really is the essence of this. And that's why I wanted to get this out today, and also talk about what we do over in the events area for selloutmyevent.com. You're free to go there and get that workshop available right now. And also, if you have any questions and if you have any comments to this and you'd like to add to the conversation, please feel free to go out to facebook.com/Jon Rognerud live. That's JONROGNERUD live. And the video will be out there so you can see this, but feel free to add to that. If you have any questions directly, send it to support@chaosmap.com. That's CHAOSMAP.com. That's the agency. And we'll get back to you. But again, sort of short and brief here today. Wanted to get your input and also do a little bit of education around this. In fact, looking at other industries have given great insights for competing industries to, get an edge in the market. And I forget now exactly the example, but I believe that those tubes that fly through office buildings with papers, you used to suck up the papers from floor 1 to floor 10 in 2 seconds, right? That particular innovation came from a related industry. I'm not sure if that was banking, and somebody ended up using it in offices, et cetera, because basically they were looking at the competition and trying to get ideas and strategies that would work for them. And this is what I'm talking about when you are talking about marketing at the highest level. You have that synchronicity of messaging and targeting, the media itself, of course. But that you understand that if you have an open mind here, there's a lot to be learned from the competition, but that marketing 101 is the same whichever industry you're in. It does not matter. So anyway, hope this has been helpful, and I really appreciate you sharing and caring, as it were. And hey, if you'd like right now, if you are iTunes, boys and girls, hey, would you subscribe, and would you also leave a quick review? That would be absolutely appreciated. All right, so this is Jan here, ending the broadcast today, and hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday and a great rockin' week. Keep at it. All right, later. Jan, take it easy.